Hello friends, welcome to Insights ICANN initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Supreme Court observations on the Hindenburg report and Adani company investigation and SEBI investigation. Now we are going to discuss about what is this issue is all about. By the way, after yesterday's Supreme Court observations, there was a positive growth observed in the Adani group of companies. And of course, they tweeted as well that truth shall prevail. That means the Adani group of company, they expressed that they've been exonerated by or they've been acquitted by the Supreme Court comments. Now let's see what we are going to discuss in this particular video. That means as usually, first we will discuss about video components. Then we will discuss about the syllabus mapping. Let's see why it is in news. It is in news because yesterday Supreme Court observed that there is no need to transfer this case to either the SIT or the CBI. That is the observation of Supreme Court. Now, Supreme Court allowed the SEBI to go on with its investigation. SEBI is investigating around 22 issues. Out of that 20 issues, investigation is done. Around 2 issues. On 2 issues, investigation supposed to be finished. The Supreme Court allowed the SEBI for 3 months to finish its investigation. So, it can be seen as a positive news for Adani group of companies. Now, SEBI, we will discuss about SEBI and its role. Then we will discuss about the powers of SEBI. What kind of powers SEBI consist of. Okay, here we are going to discuss about various powers related to SEBI, such as legislative powers, executive powers, and various quasi-judicial functions of SEBI as well. Then impact on the economy. This kind of news which affects the MNCs, how this is going to be affect the economy. Then key highlights of the Supreme Court judgment we will check. Importance of billionaires for a nation, and what are the ethical issues associated with the billionaires in the nation. So, these are the topics we are going to mainly emphasize upon in this video. Now, let us see the syllabus mapping. This particular video is related to General Studies paper 3 economy, that is security market as well as the SEBI. Now, first let me give the concept clarity to you. What happened exactly with respect to this Hindenburg report. Now, this all the issues started in the month of January 2023. Okay. Now, let me give some chronology of events. January 2023. In the month of January 2023, Hindenburg report surfaced. Hindenburg report. It surfaced, and this report claimed that the Adani group of company involved, Adani group, it involved in account fraud, and it also involved in various stock market related manipulation, stock manipulation. That means it inflated the stock prices or share prices. These are the allegations. Of course, on these allegations, instant impact on the Adani group is obviously around $140 billion, $140 billion of the market crash. $140 billion of market crash was observed. This is the first one, and around 20,000 crores of shares offered did not sell into the market. That means no one bought this around 20,000 shares of 20,000 crores worth shares of the Adani. So this is the primary impact on the Adani group of company. Then, of course, opposition parties demanded a response from the government of India, and they also demanded a swift investigation as well. But meanwhile, public investigation filed in Supreme Court, and Supreme Court responded in March 2023. In March 2023, Supreme Court appointed Sapre panel. Sapre, he was a retired Supreme Court judge. Sapre panel, okay, or Sapru, okay, panel. This panel consists of 6 members, and this panel was tasked with couple of issues, such as this panel was going to investigate systematic failure of SEBI, if any involved, as well as Adani group of company, whether account fraud was happened or not, or the inflated stocks that was happened or not, it was supposed to investigate. The panel submitted reports after 2 months. Okay, 2 months. in this report, main observations are, okay, now this report was saying that this SEBI as well as Adani group of companies, now we cannot say any blame on them, okay, that means there are no prima facie evidence against them, but still this report suggested that there has to be certain changes, especially in the regulations related to this foreign portfolio investment, FPI. Certain red flags been identified, been raised by the SEBI regarding this foreign portfolio investment. Now, one question to you students, this foreign portfolio investment and foreign direct investment, they fall under which account of the economy, okay, whether it comes under the capital accounts or current accounts. Then after this reports given in 2 months, of course, there are various petitions filed in Supreme Court regarding the investigation in this matter should be given to a SIT or should be given to the CBI. Now Supreme Court, they made the judgment, they written the judgment in the month of November, but now they given the judgment. That means the judgment was reserved for all this couple of months. Now Supreme Court is saying that no need to transfer to this SIT, no need to transfer this investigation into CBI. Now let SEBI finish the pending investigating matters. So it given 3 months of time to SEBI to finish off its investigation. This is the overall the issue related to this Hindenburg reports and SEBI, Adani group of company, Supreme Court and the Sapri panel. So various issues related to this Hindenburg report is this. And Supreme Court also commented that SEBI has some functional autonomy and we cannot interfere into the SEBI functional autonomy. Let SEBI function on its own. Of course, Supreme Court rejected the Soros report as well. Okay, Soros report alleged that SEBI also compromised and SEBI is not efficient enough to investigate this issue. Now, of course, as an aspirant, you have to know about SEBI as well in this particular issue. Now, if you can take the screenshot of this, of course, I am providing the link to the PDF in the description of the video, but nonetheless, for the simplicity of the explanation, if you can take this screenshot. Now, let's see SEBI. First, you have to understand, in India, there are two types of markets which gives money. Okay, the market which caters the short-term needs of the money, that market is known as money market. And in India, money market is controlled by RBI, whereas the market which caters the long-term lending is known as capital market. And this capital market is regulated by SEBI. So SEBI. And all of you know that SEBI stands for Security Exchange Board of India. And SEBI, it got statutory recognition in 1992. In 1992, it got statutory recognition. And SEBI possesses the quasi-legislative powers. That means it can make its own policies in certain areas, and quasi-executive functions. It can order certain government officers and all these things, and it is a quasi-judicial as well. If any company in violation of this capital market norms, SEBI can impose the penalty on those companies. That is in the nature of the quasi-judiciary. And if any party aggravated, not happy with the SEBI decisions, then so SEBI, if they are not happy, they can appeal on the SEBI as well. Okay, the Securities Appellate Tribunal. They can appeal to the Securities Appellate Tribunal. And if they are not happy with this tribunal decision, then they can go to Supreme Court. Now tell me students, who is leading the SEBI now? Put your answer in the comment section. So this information you have to know. Now let's focus onto the notes. Now let's see, Supreme Court reinforced the SEBI ongoing investigation. So that investigation has to be finished within 3 months. SEBI is a statutory body and established in 1992 through SEBI Act 1992. And it established to prevent unfair as well as malpractices in the capital markets. The main objective is to protect the investor interest by regulating the capital markets. Powers of SEBI. I already explained to you quasi-judicial powers, quasi-executive powers and quasi-legislative powers. Adani-Hindenburg report controversy. And this Hindenburg report alleged that there are certain fraud as well as the stock price manipulation related to Adani group of companies. After this allegation, around 75, around majority of the blow to the happened to the Adani group of companies, and the price value depreciated a lot in terms of the market valuation of the company as well as the issue of the new shares as well. Next, why does the allegation matters? Because the stock manipulation, it leads to the collapse of the market as well as it may also harms the investor sentiment in the market as well, because at the end of the day, who is going to invest in the market? Obviously the common man, people will invest. So this kind of frauds may affect the economy as well, like we have seen how the Lehman Brothers Bank affected the or triggered the global financial crisis in 2008. Role of Supreme Court: wide range of petitions filed before the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court agreed to go into this kind of allegations, and to investigate this matter, Supreme Court appointed the Justice A.M. Sapre committee, 6-member committee, whether there is any regulatory failure with respect to SEBI or any fraud with respect to Adani. We know that what this report was revealing. This report is saying that there is no regulatory failure from the SEBI point of view, and the key highlights: Supreme Court clearly mentioned that there is no need to transfer this case either to CBI or to SEBI. That these are the Supreme Court observations. What kind of impact it would be on the economy? These kind of things, obviously it will affect on the capital flow. That means whatever the investment coming into the economy, that will be affected. India's index will be dropped in terms of the capital attractiveness. It will hit on the banks and investor confidence, and it may affect the raising of capital from the market as well. That means companies may not get that capital raising from the market very easily, and it may affect the overall India growth as well. So these are some of the concerns on the economy, especially in relation to these kind of scams. Next, importance of billionaires for a nation, like companies like Adani, Tata's, Wipro and Ambani's. What is the role of that? What is the role of their in the nation building? Of course, they help in the development of industry, so obviously it contributes to the GDP of the nation as well as employment too. It brings a lot of investment from various foreign investors, so it will reduce the importance of dependence on the other countries, so that we can achieve the self-reliance, that means Atmanirbhar Bharat. Then it represents the face of the emerging India, high taxes to government, of course tax mopping, tax realization of government will improve, and obviously they do certain kind of philanthropist activities as well. Not only that, they have to contribute certain percentage of the earning in the form of the corporate social responsibility, CSR. The dark side of the picture, it leads to crony capitalism, this kind of scams, okay, or crony capitalism may lead this kind of scams. Crony capitalism is all about unethical relation between the business people as well as the politician. Then it creates the distrust in the economy, this kind of shady business. Obviously people, they fear to invest the money in the economy, stock market crash, and it may also give a way to run a propaganda against India, that India's economy is not transparent enough. This kind of issues will come up, and more or less some ethical issues also, like exploitation of workers, and for tax avoidance also companies may go for this kind of like tricks or scams. It may also leads to concentration of wealth as well. Of course, the excessive profits by any company, obviously it leads to concentration of wealth. In DPSP we are clearly mentioning in the 39E, article 39E, it is clearly mentioned that, okay. So article 39B and C, of course, not D and E, article 39B and article 39C. Article 39C mainly prevention of concentration of wealth. So it has to be delivered by the government. These kind of things obviously will increase the concentration of wealth with very few hands. Then what is the conclusion? The conclusion is all about the immediate damage because of this Hindenburg report. It was happened to companies like Adani. The companies like Adani, when they get this kind of market damage, obviously that is going to affect the investors who are invested the money in the group of company. Not exactly, it is directly affect the founders as well as board of directors. It mainly affect the common man like you and me who invested in the company. Next, which of the following processes happens inside a star? Obviously, nuclear fusion. Next, today's question. The Securities and Exchange Board of India meets the needs of, okay, it meets the needs of whom? Mains question. The Securities and Exchange Board of India is the crucial institution for regulating and supervising the security market in India as discuss the importance and challenges faced by each. What is the importance of SEBI and what kind of challenges facing by the SEBI? This is the mains question. Now, let us revise quickly. In this particular video, we discussed about controversy surrounding the Hindenburg report, Adani and Supreme Court comments. Okay, the chronology of events we checked, and we also checked about Supreme Court observations and why these MNCs are important to the nation, and what is the impact of this kind of scams on economy, and what is the ethical side of this kind of scams. So these are the details we discussed, and this is the detailed analysis regarding this Hindenburg Adani controversy. Thank you.